Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be making a nice Craftsman leaf vac chipper from parts. As you'll see here, I had a whole bunch of machines at the end of the year and I decided to kind of go through them, clean them up and see which ones I could get running, and a good portion of them, especially the old green ones, they're out the door, they're gone. A lot of them were just pretty easy to kind of clean up, the usual carburetor cleaning and general maintenance and a lot of cleaning, right? And that's all gone. But then I was left with all of this junk, and some of it looked like it might have been usable, and maybe we could make a machine out of it. So that's what this video is about. We're going to try to grab up all the junk and make a nice machine out of it. Stay tuned. All right, I'm set up. Just have a few more things to do. Getting ready to clean. There's a couple of nice ones here. This one's really nice. Motor seems to be okay. I didn't check the carburetor on this one. It just needs a little bit of paint. I have another one too I want to show you. It's even nicer. This one's not too bad. What we're going to do now is I'm going to pull off the wheels because these are driven. So they're geared. It's just, this one's a self-propelled. All three of these here. This one has the belt on it. I think this one might actually work. It's a little bent and it's jammed, but that's another reason why we're going to do it. One of these is missing the belt. It's really hard to change a belt, so I'm not going to be pulling this one for service right away. This one's in nice shape. It's an older one, but it's really in nice shape. All right. So I got the pressure washer out. This guy's rusty, but it's all there. So we'll leave that one till later. And what I did today was I just organized everything. They already got like a cleaning, but then I took the tops off and I took all the bolts out so I can just, as I'm pressure washing, I can just blast away. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here's what's left. So this is the one with the dead motor, and the body's not all that great, but it may have some parts on it. In particular, this piece up here is in nice shape. Got this one here is missing handle and everything. It's got a broken bolt in the exhaust. We should be able to fix that. It's simple, right? The body's in decent shape. It's got a broken piece on the front, see? So that whole thing has to come out. Broken in the front. And it has a muffler on it, but we don't know what the shape of the engine is, but we might want to just save the engine if we can. I know my brother's having some issues with his, so, you know, worst case scenario. We got some good meat on the tires. I got one more, but it's scrap. This one, the body was in nice shape. It had a bad belt, transmission. Look, we got this piece here. Worst case, we can use that one. I started peeling all the motor parts off of it. Maybe the motor is salvageable. I don't remember. Another one probably with a bad motor. I'll have to go through my videos. All right, pulled the plug real quick. It's like mint. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some two-stroke fuel in the hole and a little bit in the carburetor and then a little bit of jump start. Let's see if it does anything, because it might have water in here, and with the two-stroke it'll give it a little bit of lubricant. Just finger tight. That's all. Get a little bit in here. Choke's closed. Choke looks like it's jammed. Might be what's wrong with it. Almost. Extra helping hand, because it could be wet inside. It wants to do something. Let's see. She could be a little wet in there. Not really seeing anything. I need some more two-stroke. You know, the ignition's wet. It's been out in the rain. We have oil in it? Yeah, we got oil in it. She's running all right. There's peanuts in there and half eaten. You know, the thing is it's the problem is this, okay? Taking the motor off is really hard, but it might be the best way. Let's try the next one. Well, the plug's not as good as the other one. I just had to mix up some more fuel and put a little, it's 2-stroke with a little bit of tranny fluid. It's not too bad. Let's just give it a good fill up. The plug from the other machine, that was like brand new. Let's just see if we have any spark. No spark. Okay, so why no spark? Let's pull the coil wire. Now this is the one with the broken bolt, but we can fix the broken bolt. Maybe we'll put a different coil on it. Maybe we'll steal the coil from... I have another one laying around. All right, we got that ready. Let's see. So now there should be spark if the coil is okay. Yep, well, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, she could use the coil. I mean, it's not great, but now there's spark. We're going to want to check this. I say we fix that bolt, and then the other one we'll just pull it apart for an extra motor in pieces. Because this one has very little stuff to like touch up the paint. There's like nothing on here. We can grab the handle from the other one. Yeah, let's blow this one off with some compressed air and bring them in, bring both of them in. Maybe bring that other handle in as well. Let's get to it. Hitting. All right, so I got that big plastic part off, and you can see just to get to this one bolt down here, I got to take this whole bracket off because it's tucked up underneath. This is what I mean. So they use a combination of bolts and these nice big self-tapping screws for your convenience. So you just don't have one way of doing it. You have multiple ways of doing it. So we got to take all this off to get this piece off. Then we'll have to take this big impeller off, and then we can get to the motor bolts. And if we can get that far, we'll see. We're getting there. It's pretty naggy. This thing way too far gone. All right, I'm going to keep going. Yeah. In a sec. All right, let's start throwing out some stuff. We'll be back. Ugh. All right, now we just got to bust these out. So I'll zip these out with my zip gun, and then that bottom plate will come out, and we can get to the flywheel. All right, so I know somewhere I must have, in one of the videos, since I've done so many of these things, I must have promised a look inside. And so here it is, right? Here's your look inside. So I'm going to get at my impact. We're going to pull this bolt out. I put a little lubricant on it earlier. We'll put a little bit more on. I don't think we're going to have a problem with it. I did take off one or two of these before in my experiments, and I think I already said in one of the other videos that I would not want to do this again. It's not really worth it, but look, we're going to give it our shot. This is not bad. It's got some wear on it, but it's still got a lot of life left in it. We're also going to see when we take the other one apart, the Rusty, Mr. Rusty. We'll get that one apart too. That's it. So for this, you're probably going to need an impact. It will be difficult. Okay, so it's moving. Okay. These are nice hardened bolts. A little bit of pressure on, and give it a whack. Something's happening. Yeah, you bend it, Arch. No, I think it's actually moving. Maybe, or who knows, right? Who cares? We'll find out. Yeah, it's actually moving off. All right. So it's moved off, and this is still able to twist out. So a little bit of pressure. Sorry for the air compressor, guys. It's the shop. So we got that. It's on a taper. So all we have to do is break the taper. Okay. That's why these motors are different. So I probably have another one of these. All right, that's it, guys. We got it apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these outside, and I'm going to give them a good cleaning because it's nice out. Clean up in here, give all the stuff a good cleaning. The motor is yuck, so there's a couple of parts I want to take off the motor, and then we're done. All right, same procedure. This time I'm going to put a little lubricant on all of that. All right, try to put it over an area with the fins, and probably doing it backwards. There we go. Okay. Yep. She seems like she's loose. Yep. And you do have a replaceable cutter head. One that you can sharpen, but... Alright, so I can throw this out, right? This one's not that good. What I want to do is get the motor out and then bring it outside. It's got to close up one of the holes, the spark plug hole. We'll get it outside and I'll start cleaning it, like I'll spray it. And then I'll go to lunch. Alright, we can throw this out. Throw all that out. There's nothing left on here that we need. And like I said, we'll come back in a little bit. After lunch, I'll clean up. Get this thing all nice and clean. Pop a plug in it. Bring it outside, spray it down. Go over there every now and then, spray it while I'm eating and cleaning up, and we'll get this thing nice and purdied up. And you know, we have a common problem. What happens is the bolts loosen up on the engine, and so you develop a crack and a split. And the metal is kind of hard. We got a crack over here too, and a small crack forming here. Okay, instead of using a washer, I save these. I get these from a lot of these engines where they had, back in the day, they put nice spreader plates in. So it's perfect for repairs like this. So just gonna do a little tack there, a tack there at the crack, a tack there in the corner, a tack up there, right, to stop the crack. And then we'll put a couple of washers. We'll grind flat a few washer spots, and we'll put washers there. And then here, I'll put a tack here, tack, a tack, a tack, just to stabilize that crack. And yeah, we should be done. And the cracks were just starting here, but it's because the bolts got loose, and this thing, with all of that force, is just wobbling. All right. All touched up, right? Just put a little cleaner on that. I'll blow that off. We'll put a little paint. And like I said, got a little bit over here. I need to put a little bit more up here. I got it here. I got it here. I just need a little bit more up there. I kind of missed the target a little. All right, I just put a good amount of rusty metal primer on there for good measure, right? You know, but it doesn't stay because everything is moving around. But look, this is part of a repair. Do a nice job. I added that little extra bit of weld there. I'm going to go clean up. We got to deal with the top side now. All right, it's not too bad, right? I just wire wheeled it, and I used my Scotch-Brite biscuit. And I'm not worried about making it perfect. Cleaned everything off. And we'll put a little bit of high build primer on these areas. And then later on, I'll throw some paint on it and put it to the side till tomorrow. And I'm going to start work on the engine and just get everything ready, and then tomorrow I'll put it together. All right, I laid some of the paint on thick so it's still drying. I didn't have very much left in the can, so I couldn't really control it, but yeah, we'll leave it. And then I'll come back in a little bit and I'll spray it with some of the red. All right, everyone, it's the next day, and it was cold in here all night, of course. But it is the next day, and it does take generally overnight to dry. There's still a little soft tackiness, so I will need to be a little bit careful, but I'm not waiting any longer. We're going to put it together. We got all these nice parts, so let's get started. All right, so I went through all the motors, and we can see that they basically, the ones that I laid out and it kind of ran, but there's the one there that had the broken bolt. in the exhaust. That was no good. I couldn't, you know, by the time I got it out, everything, the other hole was messed up. You would have helicoil, everything, and just, it was a mess, right? So I picked the best motor. I thought that would be worthy. I saved a couple others. I know my brother's having an issue with his. It seemed to run fine, but he might have blown the head gasket. So I pulled 2 of those aside just in case. Keep in mind, these engines are tapered shaft. So they're not like these lawnmower motors. They could be 190cc and identical in every other way, guys, but the shaft is tapered. You can't put a mower blade on it, so forget about that. And I just picked the best one I could. Now, if you want to check out, I'll put a link over here to that video that I did that engine on the bench. And to make things a little bit quicker in this video, right, we're going to skip that part. So if you guys want to check that out, go ahead. Let's get back to it, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. And we'll get to the rest of the video. Okay, so motor's on. So you know, nice thick flat washers with a flat cut, right? Because of the round. Of course, here we don't need it. Nice long bolts. That's done. Just gonna put a little bit of grease on there. You can also use oil, and we don't want a lot. Some junk. Let's get that tissue out. There you go. Right, and I'll just make it easier. Make sure it's clean. See, there's just a little bit of junk. I didn't notice it. Make sure it's clean. Put a little bit of no-sees on that bolt. And we'll drive it in. Hey, this one actually has a little bit of wear here. A little bit of wear here, a little bit of wear here. I'm just wondering if I have one a little bit nicer. Let me go see. I'm going to see if I have one that's a little bit nicer. This one's got a little bit of wear here. This one is different, right? This one's a nice shape. This one has an additional piece mounted to it for the pulley, but it's actually in very good shape. I'm just going to take a walk outside. If not, that's what we're using. You know, it's just a little bit on the impeller side, but it doesn't mean much. We'll be right there. Now, this one is actually in better shape. But I did pull aside one of these for myself. Okay, we're on there, good. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a blammo with my air impact, and then we'll move to the next step. All right, so I have a whole bunch of hardware laying around, so I'm going to slowly go pick through it and find the best stuff, but we're ready for this, right? You can put this on now, and I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to go through and find all the hardware, the best hardware. Get everything all bolted up, one piece at a time, and then we can flip it down. We got to put the, you know, the plastic piece on. We got a lot to do, so I'll be back in a bit. All right, all the bolts with the nylock washers are down. I just need to go over the self tappers real quick, and we'll put it back up again. All right, so now we got to put the plastic piece on, and so I need to go fix that part. I didn't get a chance to do that yesterday. And then we'll install that, because it's got the flapper valve and all that. So let me go see what I'm going to do with that. All right, this is on, right? Just folded it over. You know, it's not really that hard to take one of these apart. I kind of brick doing it, but it's just a lot of pieces. Really, the biggest thing about taking one of these things apart is the filth, right? If you get the filth out of the way and all the insects that keep crawling out of it, your job's a lot easier. Now, this one, the flapper is broken, but it doesn't have a hose. The other one, the flapper handle is broken. Look, this is the best I got, okay? It is what it is. It has a flapper. Let's get it down. You know, it's a used machine. Still got a couple of screws to put in, and then we can work on the wheels. Now I got the screws here, and I got to line up that over here. You can't see it, but I just got to put 1, 2, 3 screws in, and I'll be back. And you can see why I didn't put any fluids in, because I want to make sure I can get to everything. This one goes up here. All right, get that on in a bit. Get all the bearings and wheels. All right, got this one on. Now we got to grease up the hinges and install them, and it's pretty simple. These wheels actually have grease fittings on them, but we're going to put a little bit of oil in because they're dry. And this bearing's kind of beat. But let's see. Get oil in it. Choose a little bit of oil in them. And then, like I said, I'll grease up a couple of squirts. That's usually enough. They don't usually have a grease fitting. You know, usually it's like it's there, right? But the port's not drilled, and so you got to use this, or you got to use that. You know what? When you're redoing these things, you use what you got and get them going again. Dirt's going to get in. Grease actually works really good because grease suspends dirt. It gets it out of the way. Keeps it out of the way of moving parts and keeps things going. Oil always is a great lubricant. But motor oil. But it won't last as long as grease. But eventually grease, right, gets pushed out of the way, so it stops lubricating. All right, we get those things fastened up. Okay, I got the bag kill disconnected. So it's automatic choke. We're going to put it up to full, and that should, it's manual choke, so we're going to put the throttle up to full, the manual choke to full. Got another one done. We don't have to do anything else. It is 100% done. The only thing I got to do is, well, try and sell it. But we turned something that was essentially thrown out at the dump. This was junk. I bought it. You know, I wasn't sure how much of these machines that I'm doing were junk. After going through the ones that I thought I could save quicker and, you know, just with less work, I wound up with a bunch of junk, and well, we made a machine from junk. We turned junk into this, and it was a lot of fun, and so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here, Arch's Garage. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been commenting and hitting the like button and subscribe. You know, we build the channel together, so hopefully I can continue to do this for you guys, and definitely what makes it possible is you guys. So thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next one.